Hey guys, it's Angie. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be showing you guys how to get your license, or like tips to get your license, because I cannot exactly tell you how to get your license. I mean, I cannot like guarantee that you'll get it, because like you don't know, man, people are different. So I'm just gonna be giving you some tips and stuff like that, because I do have my license already and I went through the whole process and I am 16. So yeah, let's just get started. So this is my license. It's just like this, and I believe that when I have a provisional license until next year, because let me start from the beginning. Okay, so I started driving about like when I was 13-ish, like not fully driving, but you know, like turning on the car. We lived in a gated community before, so it was like way easier and much safer than being on the street already. So I would just like turn on the car, you know, park it, stuff like that, like little stuff, like, and little by little I went learning more. I started to move it around more and just like, you know, do all that stuff. And then one day we dropped off my friend at his house, and then my dad was like, yeah, you're driving home. And I was like, what? Okay. And I was so nervous. It was like 2 in the morning. Guys, I thought I was gonna die or something. I was so nervous because I was like, oh my god, there could be like drunk people driving, and they might be driving really fast, or like I'm not ready. I was just like really scared. So I drove home. It wasn't even that far, but you still get nervous. So anyway, I got home safely and everything, so that was a really good thing. My dad got home safely. We were both alive. I'm pretty sure he was praying. So yeah, I drove home that night, and then little by little my dad would start taking me out on the street when he knew like I felt calm enough to do it, because you don't want to go into like driving like when you don't feel calm, or when you don't feel like safe in what you're doing. And before he would tell me that, I'd be like, I am calm, like what are you doing, I'm confident. But now I finally understand what he was saying. It's because if you get on the road mad, or like not feeling safe within yourself, you're not gonna feel safe on the road, and you might cause an accident or something like that, and we do not want that to happen. So he just started like preparing me little by little, and then once I turned 15 and a half, I believe, yeah, when you're 15 and a half, you can start taking your online hours that you need in order to go take your test for the permit, which is a written exam. So I started completing my hours, and once I was finished with that, it took about like a month, maybe. It was really fast. You could even get the app on your phone. The website I use is driverseded.com. I will have a link down below for you guys, but I know that they do have an app, so you guys can always use that as well. You know, it's really easy. You just have to answer questions like A, B, C, or D and stuff like that. And it's really good practice. So when I went to take in my written exam, I was so nervous. Like, also guys, I was not gonna do my makeup that day, because my dad told me, no, they don't take your picture that day, they take it when they give you your actual license, like when you take the driver's test. And I was like, oh okay, but like I still did my makeup and everything, because like what if they did? I didn't want to come out looking like shit. So they do take your picture the day you go and get your permit. I don't have my paper. When you go and get your exam done, your written exam, it's pretty easy. It's like, I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on this, but I want to say 25 to 30 questions maybe. And my parents were like, oh, they probably sit you down in the room and like you have to like bubble in answers like they did to us. But no, when I took it, there was like computer screens. They're like, okay, go to like number 7 and take your test. And I was like, okay. So once I was done, it told me how many I got wrong. I got like 5 wrong. No, less than that, I don't know. But I passed. So I went to the window, and the lady gave me these papers. And they're just like papers. Certificate of completion of non-classroom driver education, certificate of completion behind the wheel training. Once you get this, then you are all set. You have your permit still, yeah, permit. Then you have to take your, I believe it's 8 hours of in-car driving with an instructor, like a professional instructor. So my mom found this lady that's in California, LA specifically. Some classes are really expensive, so if you guys want her info, you can just like message me through Twitter or Instagram or something like that, and I'd be glad to like help you and give it to you. But it was basically like before starting school and stuff like that, so it was pretty fast. Everything went by pretty fast. I finished my 8 hours in like a week. She took me through the streets and stuff like that, and on the last day she was like, we're going on the freeway, and I was like, hold up, what the fuck, like what? I had never gone on the freeway before, guys. That would have been like my first time. I was so nervous and everything, but then at the same time I was kind of calm because like she has the pedal, she has the gas pedal and the brake on her side of the like vehicle. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to do this. It didn't go as bad as I thought. You just drive a little faster than like the regular speed on the street. So yeah, but you always gotta check your points, like reference points and stuff like that, your mirrors, check everything. Like also, like when you check your mirrors, don't be like, and like stare at the mirror and like not look at the road. You just gotta glance real quick and like look at it. So I finished my 8 hours, and then after that you have to do certain hours of like driving like with an adult, like your parents or something like that, until you can go take your driver's test, which is about 6 months. So I was 15 and a half when I got my permit and finished the 8 hours of driving with the instructor. So you basically have to be 16 so you can go take the test for your provisional license. Which means provisional license is that you cannot drive with anyone under 18 in the car. So I can't drive with anyone under 20. I was 16 when I went to go take the test for my license, my driver's test, provisional license. It's still kind of like, it's not a permit, but it's not a license. It's like in between. And I'm pretty sure you just have to be 16, because if not, they wouldn't have made me wait that long. Yeah, I don't know. So when I took my driving test, I was pretty nervous. We're like the first ones there, because I was like, the DMV gets fucking packed. Like I am not about to wait like 5,000 hours. So yeah, we were like the first ones there. We got in line and everything. And then they called me. They said, it's your turn. There was a girl behind me. I was talking to her, and she was saying that it was like her second or third time. I got in the car with my test person. Yeah, I got in the car with them. He asked me to turn on the blinkers, my lights, just basic stuff like that. Press on the brake, honk on the horn, you know, like stuff like that. And then after, he's like, okay, we're ready to go. I'm going to tell you when to turn, blah, 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 like change lanes. So I was like, okay, can you just tell me like ahead of time, because I'm not good with instructions that are given to me like a second before you want me to turn, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was always checking my mirrors like constantly. That's like the main thing. When you change lanes, be sure to turn over your shoulder and then change. Then if you want to change it to another lane, like let's say there's 3 lanes. If you're here and you want to change into this lane, be sure to look over your shoulder, make sure there's no cars coming. Also look in your mirror to your left. And if there's no cars, then you can go. And if you're trying to get into the 3rd lane, then you might want to wait a bit and then check again until you can proceed. Turning, you know, not too sharp, like slow down. Be sure to stay within the speed limit. Do not go over the speed limit, because you're basically done if you go over the speed limit. So you might want to be a little under the speed limit. So yeah, then we got back to the DMV. I parked and everything. He told me I passed. Yeah, then I got my license, which is this little card. It just says my name and stuff like that, and I look like poop on my picture, but that's not. I'm finally able to drive my car on my own now, and I'm so happy. I drive myself to school and stuff like that. It just makes it a lot easier, like having a license. Like even if you don't have a car, you don't need a car. As long as you have your license, maybe you can drive your parents' car if they let you. It's way easier than like waiting and calling to get picked up. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing a video on like in the car with you guys and me driving, so you guys can see how I fucking drive, because I'm mad at like every person have road rage. Some tips, again, always be sure to look in your mirrors constantly. If you just want to glance, you don't have to stare at the mirror and like look at every single car. I know a lot of people get scared. They're like, oh my god, like what if I just turn and then I crash? Like no, you'll get it, trust me. Just glance at all your mirrors. Glance if you want to change lanes again. Glance next, like over your shoulder or over this shoulder to make sure you can change. Also, you gotta make sure you know where your emergency brake is, your emergency lights, how to park in a parking spot, how to back out of a parking spot. Parallel parking I'd hardly use, but it's necessary, trust me. Like I don't know if they'll do it on your test, but they might. I know like the laws and everything are different from California and other states, obviously other countries, so you know, you just gotta go according to what's in your city. You always gotta turn on your blinkers when you turn, please. Do not be that person that goes into the right lane and then people expect you to keep going straight because you didn't turn on your blinker. Please turn on your blinkers. You have to let people know that you're turning, and if you're not turning, then change into the lane where it's not far right until you are prepared to turn, okay? Thanks. Because it literally makes me so mad when people go into the far right lane and they're not gonna turn. Like, dude, I'm trying to turn in this straight and you're not letting. Breathe. Also, be sure that Also, be sure that the car that you're using for your test, for your driver's test, is a car that you feel comfortable in, like you've already driven in. So it's not like super new to you where everything is at, or like so you feel, it's just so you feel safer in the car that you're in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys are free to DM me on my social media, you know, ask me questions, stuff like that. And I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to follow me on my social media. Instagram is Angie Danis, Twitter is the Angie Danis, and my Snapchat is just the Angie Danis. So they're pretty much all the same. But yeah, don't forget to follow me, and I will see your pretty faces next week. Bye!